Hey guys, I'm gonna show you guys some video here example of how I got my elementary basketball team to score within 5 seconds on a regular basis when the other team scored or when we got a rebound off of that. This is something that I've kind of perfected. I coached girls elementary 7th and 8th grade and girls 7th and 8th grade basketball for 16 years, and so I was able to figure out what worked and what didn't work. And I never wanted to be the coach that just gave it to one person and let that best player do everything for their team. You see a lot of that out there. And it's pretty common at the 7th and 8th grade level. You don't really have a lot of coaches out there who stick with the 7th and 8th grade level for that long, or maybe they don't have a lot of experience coaching that at that level. On top of that, for those of you guys who know, we coaching at that level, there aren't a lot of girls who play outside of the gym. They don't go to the park, or they don't, they only play when they're with you. So you really don't really don't get a lot of girls who actually really have a lot of experience at the 7th and 8th grade level. When I coached for 16 years, I might have had one, two, or three players that actually played club and who genuinely knew what they were doing with basketball and had long basketball careers into high school and whatnot. But so when you're dealing with a team that you don't have a lot of experience with, how do you do that? How do you what can you do to help advance the basketball and help them score a little bit more? So I at first, when I first started coaching, I just did what I was taught to do, and so I had to figure out a way to get these girls to respond. And one of the ways of doing that was to get the girls to score within 5 seconds. Now, I tell you that 5 seconds, and some of you guys might not believe me, but I'm going to show you guys some video here of that proves exact my point on how we did it, not only at the 7th and 8th grade level, but at the high school level too as well, on how they do that. It's like an assembly line. Everyone's involved. It's a high scoring, lots of layups, and especially at that level, the 7th and 8th grade level, teams don't practice playing against something like that. When you talk about a team's reaction to they scored, and sometimes they're cheering, or they're excited, they don't just turn and run. And so when you have a team that reacts and does their job, and everybody moves the ball, and all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, and all of a sudden the ball is up the floor, and you're taking a layup before the other team's even set up on defense. So I'm going to show you guys some videos here. Like I said, I spent 16 years doing this, and it wasn't always perfect, but it did take a long time for me to perfect this. But it can be done, especially with those teams where you're dealing with where you don't have players that don't have a whole lot of experience. So I feel you guys. I know what that's all about. And I'm going to show you guys some examples here on how to make that happen. Again, we're talking about scoring on a fast break within 5 seconds, 4.5 to 5 seconds if it's done correctly. There's a lot of pros to this. And number one is that you're probably not going to get pressed a whole lot. For those of you coaches who are thinking, God, what can I do to get, teams are pressing me, and how do I handle that? Well, I'm going to show you guys one thing right here, and you're going to see in the video the other team's just turning and running. They don't even have time to set up a press because they know what's coming. As a matter of fact, I think I got a little bit of a reputation because teams would know that they couldn't press us because we would score on the other end if they didn't get back in time. And so I'm gonna show you guys some examples here, and because I hear a lot of coaches, and I sympathize for those of you guys who are coaching at the 7th and 8th grade level, whether you coach boys or girls. I kind of know it's pretty much the same thing. I think girls is maybe a little bit more difficult only because they don't play outside the gym. The boys play at recess, and they play at home, they play at the park, they play all the time. Girls just don't do that. So for those of you guys who are coaching at the elementary level, I know exactly what you guys are going through. And when this formula I took because I was coaching my high school team, and it worked out with my high school team, and I thought, well, gosh, if it works with my high school team, it's definitely going to work with my 7th and 8th grade team. And it did, and it worked really well. So my information is here, and if you guys have any questions about this, or if you guys want to see more examples, or you guys want to hear about how we actually got into it, and I'm going to explain to it as we go through the video on how we did these things, feel free to contact me. I'm more than happy to share how we got this done. And if you guys want to change the culture and get everybody involved and get some more wins for your team, get some more points on the board, that'll be the way to do it. So here's how it goes. Okay, so here's the setup. The setup here is that this is my high school varsity basketball team. We're talking about a 5A school, big school, and you're going to see how the fast break stuff, all right, the other team's just taking a shot right now. You see the shot go in. You see the player underneath the basket get the basketball. She's going to step out of bounds. Notice the 1 foot. The 1 foot out of bounds is very important. You can see she's got 1 foot out of bounds there with her head turned, looking for the point guard. That is crucial. That needs to be starts number one. Normally for me, it was the 4s and 5s. Post players, and the only reason I did that is because they were more oftentimes the ones that were underneath the basket most of the time. So that is crucial right there, and you're going to see that in the video. She's got 1 foot out of bounds, and technically speaking, that's all she needs. She needs 1 foot out of bounds. She lifts the other foot up off the floor, okay, while turning and looking for the ones. In the meantime, you can see the other girls taking off. Look at the 2 red jerseys already. Look at this. Look at this. They're already up the floor. Okay, and I think during this game, at this point in time, the other team's kind of debating on, you know, whether they're going to press or if they're finding a man. But look at this. I already got 2 red jerseys across half court, and they're going up the floor. Okay, and it's an easy layup down on the other end. Okay, again, right here, you're going to see post player step out of bounds, hurry up, get it to the one dribble, push it up the floor. Okay, for always attacking the basket. So this one right here, again, the other team just hit a 3-pointer on us. Okay, you can see the referee. You can see the referee throw his hands up. They just hit a 3-pointer on us. So we're, you know, this is the reaction of getting the ball out of the hoop. So again, and notice, off to the right side, step out of bounds, hurry up and get it to the one. And notice, you'll notice the yellow jerseys. They're just turning and running. They hit a shot and they're turning and running. Okay, they have to. They know already. They know we're coming. So here comes the ball. Looking up the floor, push pass, and attack the basket. Okay, same thing again right here. Okay, this is a different team, by the way, from the first 2 examples. I believe this is a year later. Again, post player stepping out of bounds to the one dribble, fire up the floor, and an extra pass. Okay, so that's again another example here. Another example right here is off the steal. When my girls are get a steal, they're instructed the first thing they are to do is to catch, turn, and look. Boy, oh boy, if I could coin a phrase, that would be it. Especially when it comes to the fast break. There's so many girls who get the rebound or get a steal and they stall with it and they hug it or they don't look up the floor. So my big thing is to catch, turn, and look. And if you turn and look and you can't throw, that's one thing. That's fine. I can swallow that pill. But if you catch the ball and you don't turn and look up the floor, we're missing an opportunity for a layup. So right here, you know, I got Alicia. She gets a perfect steal, turns, looks up the floor, and she just gets rid of it. She gets rid of it up the floor because she already knows our point guard's off and running to the races. Okay. Same thing right here. Now this team right here, they already knew. You can tell right here, the white team in the white jerseys, they already knew. You can tell by how hard they're running back the floor. We got my post player who's going to step out of bounds. She's going to give it to the one. Here we go. Everyone's on the run, and my point guard finds a gap to feed the runner. I mean, that's just quintessential. Same thing, out of bounds. Hurry up. Here we come. Different team. Down the middle of the floor, finding somebody for the and one. Defense didn't get back in time. Okay, and you can see right here. Look at the coaches. The coaches are saying, "Hurry up, get back," because they already know. They don't have time to set up a press. They barely have enough time to find who they're guarding. You can see the coaches yelling, "Hurry up, get back! Hurry up, get back, get back!" You can hear them yelling that from my side of the court. Up the floor, steal and one. So again, same thing. Out of bounds, step to the one. Up the floor, one dribble is probably all you need to get a good pass. Foul and one. Same thing. Out of bounds, one step, push to the right. One dribble up the floor. And an easy layup. Now, what's important too is obviously, like I said before, it is probably the first and foremost. It is very important that the one gets out of, this person, whoever you assign to get out of bounds with the ball, that needs to happen. She's the most important part. So she needs to get out of bounds in a hurry. And of course, I have the one looping to the right because more oftentimes than not, the girl is right-handed. So it's easier to catch the ball on the right side of the floor and easier for her to do her job on that side of the floor. So those two, the girl bringing the ball in from inbounds is crucial, because if she doesn't do that fast enough, if she doesn't get to the ball fast enough, if she doesn't get the ball up the floor, it's not going to help the situation. So she needs to get in the ball and out of bounds up the floor in a hurry. Now, you'll also notice that I have one right down in the middle of the key. You have a girl who's going to get the ball and take off. She's just running. Look at it. She's gunning it full speed, because she knows, number one, that's her job. That is her job as what we call runners. That ball goes in the hoop and everyone's got a job. So I have post players who it's their job to get to the ball. One is looping through and 2s and 3s are running. Look at this. She is running. She's booking it, because she knows she's going to get the ball on the other end and she's going to do the scoring. Okay, so now like I said, so you're saying, okay, coach, this is varsity girls basketball. That's one thing. How can I get the team to do this this exact same thing at the 7th and 8th grade level? Well, I'm going to show you here, right here. You're going to see the exact same thing. Now, again, these girls at the varsity level right here in these red jerseys, these are varsity basketball players. They're very legit. They're athletes. They're girls, they're varsity basketball players. They know what they're doing. At the 7th and 8th grade level, though, completely different. We're dealing with girls who haven't played before, and we're trying to deal with make do with what's best. So right here, again, let me see if I can get this video to slow down. Right there, look at, you see my 4 and 5 jumping out of bounds to get that 1 foot up. Notice her head. I don't know if you guys can see that bad. I know the video kind of cuts off. She's looking at my 1. My 1's ready for the ball. She's inbounding, and as soon as the 1 gets the ball, look at this. She gets that ball and turn and look. Boom, that's perfect. Catch, turn, and look, so she can see down the floor. And I always have this, the player right here who plays the 1, more oftentimes than not, I have her as somebody who can throw the ball up the floor. Now, again, I know a lot of coaches don't like to trust that throw, but if you practice it every day, they get good at it. I promise you they do, because they don't know any better. That's kind of one of the good things of coaching 7th and 8th grade girls basketball, or even 7th and 8th grade boys. They don't necessarily know any better, especially these girls, because they don't play a lot, so they don't pick up a lot of bad habits. So these girls do exactly what you teach them to do, which is one of the benefits of coaching at this level if you guys know what you're doing. So again, this girl catches it, turns, looks, and guns it down the floor. We have runners up the floor and 1 because they don't get back in time. Again, now this right here this is off the rebound. Okay, you'll see my girl, she gets a rebound, and this is part of a drill that we actually do. It's called float 1, float 2, where there's 2 passes involved in a layup down on the other end, and there shouldn't be a dribble here. Okay, so you're going to get a rebound. Again, this is 7th and 8th grade girls basketball with girls who have never played prior to being on the team. Okay, so it can be taught. Okay, so again, rebound, they do exactly what they're supposed to be doing. She rebounds, outlets the half court catches up the floor, and a layup. The other team doesn't even have a chance. Look, catch, turn, look, nothing. Catch, turn, look. Then you can fire it up the floor, pass up ahead, layup. Same thing right here. Again, this is a different team right here. Same elementary team, a different group of girls. I'm going to have my rebounder, outlet up the floor, float 1, float 2. Easy layup. Okay. Let me see this next one here. Right here. This is perfect right here too. I wish I could do it right there. You can see the girl. Look at this. This is perfect. My post player, step 1 foot out of bounds, looking at the 1, catches, turns, looks up the floor. Look at this. 1 dribble, gather herself, and gun it. And it's a layup. Here we go. Rebound to the 1. 1 up the floor. Layup. Good. Okay. Off the steal. Nope, I'm going to gun it instead. Always looking up the floor. Always up the floor. Okay. And then another same pass, fast break off the dribble, bounce pass. Pretty textbook right there. Okay. So again, it can be taught. These things from 7th and 8th grade, these things right here are very simple. So again, it's very important that the 4s and 5s get out of bounds. To the 1, this girl, she can catch, turn, and look. So I probably want to say that the hardest part about this whole thing is this girl right here with the basketball, the 1, the girl, she's the decision maker. She's got to be your smartest decision maker, because if she can't throw, then what? You understand what I'm saying? So if she can't, for whatever reason, throw, she needs to be able to decide when to throw, when not to throw. That's probably the most difficult thing about this, is when to throw, when not to throw. Now, I tell you what, this particular team right here that you're looking at, this white jersey team, we had already played once this year, so they already knew what was coming, and yet they still didn't react fast enough. And it's all about the reaction. Are the girls, and that's probably one thing that we practice literally religiously every day, is the reaction part. Are these girls reacting to their job? When the ball goes in the hoop, what do they do? When the ball misses and it bounces, when they get a rebound, what do you do? Like that reaction to not just standing there and watching the ball. You have a job to do. Get to it. And getting up the floor, and seeing this stuff, getting the girls layups, these girls aren't basketball players, quote unquote. I don't mean to offend them, but they, just because they're not quote unquote basketball players doesn't mean that they're not athletes. And if you have athletes, if you have girls who are willing to work hard, this can be the end result. I promise you that. Float 1, float 2. Okay, this one right here, catch, turn, look, nothing. And we're pushing up the floor. Again, the other team is just turning and running. They don't have any choice. Right here, same thing. This team, again, we had already played once already, so they knew what was coming. They knew what we were going to do, and yet they still didn't get back in time. Perfect image right there. Look at that. 1 foot out of bounds, 1 foot up. So technically speaking, she's out of bounds, and that's what we train those girls to do. I said, just get 1 foot out of bounds, lift the other foot, and technically you're out of bounds. So the faster they can get out of bounds and push the ball inbounds, the easier it is for the one to do her job, and we're going to be able to get the ball up the floor. Catch, turn, look, gun it. So I hope that you guys can understand what I'm trying to do here. And again, if you guys have any questions on this, or if you want some more explanations, by all means, my contact information is here, and feel free to hit me up if you guys want more questions on that. But other than that, good luck, best of luck to you guys.